Hello, everybody. Devin back here again with yet another deck profile for you. I brought a very interesting hero list this week to locals. I did go to locals last week. I brought Prime White Fiendsmith again. I didn't make any changes to the deck list, so I did not feel the need to post another video. So my plan is I'm going to go through the deck list, explain some of my choices, and then I'll do the tournament report after for those interested, okay? So we're going to do main, extra, side. Start off with the main deck. For our elemental heroes. 1, 2, 3 Stratos. 3 Stratos. I don't think this changes in a deck list that's 60 cards. Probably until Miracle Ejector comes out. In that case, you can go down to 2. If you're only playing 2, certain lines with Miracle Ejector get awkward, so that is something to keep in mind. So there may still be an argument to play 3. But I do think post-Ejector, Vion is just the better normal summon. So 3 Stratos, 1 Shadow Mist, 1 Liquid Soldier. I'm still a big fan of Liquid Soldier. Digging into your deck for side cards or extenders is just nice. Next up, Winged Rebo level 6. He came up a few times, mostly as just an extender or a body. Or if I had to go into Sunrise before Infernal Rage, it was something to tag out into. Yeah. I feel like he would have performed better just in different matchups than the ones I played against. And then we are on the 1 Neos. And then the only hand trap anywhere in this list, as far as I can tell, Honest Neos. I just really like Honest Neos. This actually came up a few times in testing. It was pretty funny to normal summon Stratos, search this, and beat over a Caesar or something before being able to continue with my plays. Next up, of course, triple A Hero Lives, the Miracle Fusion, and Favorite Contact. For the my Destiny Hero lineup is a little bit odd, but I'll get into it. So obviously Denier, 3 Malicious, and then I am on double Plasma. Double Plasma. So Plasma, there's no hard once per turn anywhere on Plasma. You can put 2 on the field and eat 2 monsters if you really want to. But the reason I play 2 is a lot of people hold Nib for your end board because they know you're not doing anything if you get nibbed on your end board. So typically, shout out to, I don't know if he's the one who came up with it, but he's where I learned it from. I don't think he's making videos anymore, but I believe it's D-Time Yu-Gi-Oh! On YouTube is where I learned it from. I believe his name's Mike. But shout out to him. So basically, if you get nibbed on your end board and you have Wake Up in DPE, you can DPE, pop the Wake Up, and then on a new chain, your board, the rest of your board gets nibbed. You summon Stratos off of Wake Up, and then if you have a Mally or Denier or any other extender available to you, you tribute and just make your second Plasma that you grab off the Stratos. Obviously, with that, we're playing Fusion Destiny. I believe, in my opinion, just going back to the Destiny Hero count, I believe it's optimal to play at least 5 Destiny Heroes. I think, Denier and 3 Mally are kind of obligatory if you're playing Fusion Destiny in this deck. A lot of people just play Plasma because it's a good card. Some people play Dark Angel. Some people, you know, main the Dark Angel and the Plasma. But I generally think you need to main 5 of these because the Malicious, if you open Fusion Destiny, generally what I try to do is I'll search the Malicious, like, you know, either Foolish It or I'll either Foolish It or I'll search it with a Stratos or something for a discard. Because then, you know, if you want a Fusion Destiny, you can dump your Denier for the body, and then you can send Plasma, and then some people get, like, really bold, you know, similar to, like, the double Drill Beam tech in Primite Fiendsmith. They make really bad decisions if they think you don't have Plasma access. But the truth is that you just, you know, sent one anyways. We do have other things you can send for Fusion Destiny that are really good. Like, for example, you know, I believe you can send the Winged Kuriboh to get access to it. It is a level 6, if I'm not mistaken. I will double check that now. He is a level 6. So, yeah. You know, there are lots of targets for Fusion Destiny. The only problem is, you know, if you want to end on Plasma, but you draw Malicious or need a Malicious in rotation, and, you know, you end up with a Denier, but you still need to activate Fusion Destiny, it really helps just having that extra name. Alrighty. Next up is Vision Heroes. 3 Ferris. Double Vion. Like I said, I think he goes up to 3 post Miracle Ejector. I think he becomes the best normal summon. 1 increase. I was in my very first deck profile on this channel was Heroes. You guys know it. I love this deck. It was in my hands so much during testing. Luckily, I don't think I drew it during the tournament, but it was in my hands so much during testing. It was very bad. I was not happy. I thought about putting the second one in, and then I remembered the words I said to the internet long ago. I do not fear God. We are on a pretty big evil hero package. So I'm on 1 Adusted Gold. 1 Dead End, the Sinister Necrom. I'm playing the Infernal Rider, and I think Vicious Claws is absolutely insane. It's a good send-off of Fusion Destiny. It's a good discard if you draw it. If you hard open it, it's just straight up a free extender, and that is actually why we're playing the last monster in this package. I'm on Toxic Bubble. This card was absolutely crazy all night. My plan was to blind second with this deck. And the problem I have with Heroes right now, like before Miracle Ejector, before the Mass Hero stuff comes out, you are really starved for extenders. The only real extenders, like if you normal summon Stratos, the only real extenders in your deck are Ferris. If you pitch a Malicious or Denier for something, Toxic Bubble, which is a free special summon. He just locks you into Heroes. Vicious Claw is a free special summon. Evil Assault is a very good extender, and that's pretty much it. If I had room, I would probably increase maybe Adusted Gold to 2 and play like straight up 3 Evil Assault to play less into Droll. I got Drolled a couple times and it was not very fun either time it happened. But yeah, Toxic Bubble was absolutely insane because like post side you can just like dig 2 cards. So like with Toxic Bubble, with Liquid Soldier, you go through your full combo and you're digging like 4 cards into your deck, and you know if you can hold off on using them until like closer to the end of your combo, you know you go through like literally half of your deck over the course of the combo. So then you're just digging 4 cards deeper. It's really nice going second So I guess for the rest of the cards, I'm on Evil Assault, I'm on the Dark Fusion, and I'm on the Dark Contact. But yeah, because even going second, I would sometimes search this, like if I did not necessarily need Dark Contact, or if I got Dark Fusion and I just decided to make Malicious Bane with it, because I am running that. You know, you can still, if you have him or you search him, you can still just special him and draw 2. It is any monster that requires to be summoned with Dark Fusion. So it's just a free 2 cards if you get it. No discard or anything. Vicious Claws is absolutely crazy. I just wish that his summon back from grave and pop a card was not once per duel. That would be nice. Next up, I'm going to call this the power spell section. I'm on 3 Mask Change. There's like 1,000,000,001 targeting effects in this format. So Mask Change is crazy. You can actually like sometimes like bait rosin pops and stuff, and then Mask Change out of the column. You know, all the yummy stuff targets, you know, stuff like that. People are on Imperm, Veilers. It's just all over right now. Next up, what I'm calling the power spell, or yeah, I already said power spell section. I'm on 2 Poly. This is the ratio you play for sure after the Masked Hero stuff comes out, but I really liked it tonight. I believe I like straight up thrusted it for a Poly once. You know, people will interrupt your Wonder Driver, and if you hard draw one, you don't have to worry about it as much. Poly's a good card. You always need access to it. Foolish Burial, dump Shadow Mist, search anything in your deck, dump Malicious, free extender, dump Vicious Claws, end board piece if it's in the graveyard. There's a lot of good stuff you can do with this. There were a couple times I even just Foolish Burial Liquid Soldier just to banish with my Neos off of Miracle Fusion to get into Infernal Rage and get that draw too. Which really confused people because people think he needs to be sent from field to grave. No, he just needs to be used as fusion material and go to grave or banishment. Rhoda. I was on an e-call, but the only things that e-call searches that Rhoda don't is like literally Neos and Wing Karibo. So I mean, this searches more and more things in your deck. And then these are like kind of like generic extenders, I guess. Monster Reborn. If you just need a body, you just thrust into this, and then boom, you have Monster Reborn. And then I'm on 2 spell card Monster Reborn. The reason for this is a little bit twofold. So going first, if people try to like Bell or Bestial or whatever your monsters out of the graveyard, DD Crow people are on right now at the locals I went to. You just spell card Monster Reborn. It is a quick play. You bring it back. Most things that are in the graveyard, if you're Monster Reborning them, you've gone through their effects. You don't care what they do on the field. You just need a body, and this provides that. And then, going first into a board, it really helps being able to do the same, especially against, things like Yummy when they try to, like if you dump a Malicious and they try to shuffle it back with their one guy or banish it or whatever that card does. You just chain this and, get it out before they can do anything, and then you link it off because it's not like Mally has an on-field effect. Going first, you can set it as a disruption. I played against a Fiendsmith deck. Because you're not hero locked. I don't believe you're hero locked on your opponent's turn. I mean, I never actually used it on the opponent's turn, but I believe you're only locked for the rest of the turn. So you could potentially use it as like a disruption against Fiendsmith decks and stuff. So it's like a double purpose. It's an extender. It's just a free extender, and then it's also like graveyard hate against your opponent. Next up, for straight up defensive cards, I do not like Droll and Lockbird. So these are mostly for Droll. I did actually sales ban call Nibiru once. It was the only time in the night I drew sales ban. So basically what happened is I was playing against RB, and I Toxic Bubbled. I drew into like Sales Ban Fusion Destiny, and I'm looking at my hand, and I'm like, he hasn't drolled me yet. And I keep asking him for a response, and he just says not yet. And I'm like, you know, I'm only like maybe like halfway through the combo because I kind of, the way my hand was looking, like I had like plenty of extenders, so I was trying to bait as much as possible. So I went through the evil hero line first. So I was just like, I'll just sales ban Call Nibiru because it's the only thing I care about right now. Like, this is game 2. I know he's on RB. I know he's not playing Bystials or anything, so I think that is my best bet. And I don't know if it worked out or not, but I did not get nibbed that game. Well, I apologize. Someone's dying outside. Police are going by. For the rest of the non-engine, triple thrust, searches everything in your deck. 1 Dark Ruler, 1 Evenly, and then, 3 Droplet, because like I said, I think if you can play Droplet, you should be playing Droplet. Droplet is very good with all of the turn 0 stuff going on right now. Droplet is very good going second for targeted, targeted hatred of stuff. Well, it doesn't target, but you know what I mean. And that is it for the main deck. Set that off to the side. For the extra deck, Double Cross Crusader. Like I said, my plan was to blind second, so I was just like, screw it, I'll just play 1 Cross Crusader. Testing proved me very wrong. Second Cross Crusader, very important. It is like the deck's only real way to get back into follow-up. It can bring back DPE if your DPE gets outed and you don't have a good way to get it back, like if it's Belled or something. And then also the fact that, it's kind of like Isolde. The first effect activates the special summon and people, out it, impermit, whatever on that effect. And you just go, okay, well, I'll just, it's a Destiny hero. It's probably Denier or Mally. I'll just summon it with its own effect, summon one with its own effect, and then tribute it for the second effect. Because you go into, It actually did happen once. Against RB is I went Cross Crusader, effect target Mally, and he went Imperm, and I went Mask Change. And then I had a Mally and a Dark Law, and I went Link into the second Cross Crusader. Mally again, Cross Crusader, tribute the Mally, continue. For the last of the links, Infernal Divisor, just necessary. Wonder Driver, absolutely crazy card. I would probably play a Wonder Driver if I mean, it's like, it's not high up on the list of things that I think need to be in the extra deck, especially with the new support coming out. But if it's an option, I would like to one day. That's it for the links. So we're on 2 Masked Heroes in main. And the reason I picked these 2 is just because they're kind of the most important. A lot of people play 2 Dark Law because if you use Mask Change, and then if you use Mask Change mid combo, you can still like link off the Dark Law or whatever. Like I said, blind second, so I didn't super need him to stay on the field. I thought it was more important to have a target to protect Stratos and also Infernal Rider, because those are the 2 most important. The only other attribute in your deck is light and water, and the light monsters include Honest Neos, okay, Wonder Driver, okay, which debatably playing a light target for Wonder Driver could be good. And then, water for Toxic Bubble and Liquid Soldier. Like, that's all that is in your deck. You don't care about your dead end because it sends for cost. And you can just continue doing something else if its effect gets negated for some reason, but most people aren't going to because it sends to graveyard for cost. And also Blast. Blast is just funny. It actually came up against a Fire King player in testing. He went to activate his Fire King Island or his Sanctuary or something, and I just went, no, quick effect bounce. Next up, Destiny Hero Fusion. If you guys recall from my last deck profile, I like playing a lot of Destiny Hero Fusions. That is not an option anymore. We have 1 DPE. You could probably squeeze in a second until the new support comes out. Elemental Heroes. Infernal Rage. Very good card. Sunrise. Very good card. Absolute Zero. I personally like Absolute Zero. You could cut him, but I just think it's nice having the board wipe, and also he's relevant for one of our side deck cards. Wake up your Elemental Hero. Insane card. Favorite contact, shuffle your entire graveyard and banishment back in your deck. Have fun. And then obviously the shiny Neos Wingman. For our evil hero package, we're on Backfire. Mostly for supremacy purposes. Like I have supremacy on the side, like I said, my plan was to blind second. And then obviously, you know, blinding second, Malicious Bane. Neos Lord. Everybody. So I watched quite a bit of videos about how Hero is currently played. A lot of people are playing like evil hero packages and stuff, and they talk about Neos Lord, and they're like, yeah, Neos Lord, he's like a really, 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 really good card, but I never made him. Honestly, it's kind of a flex spot. But he's really good, you shouldn't cut him. Like, people are just all over the place about it. And I just decided, I was like, you know, if I'm going to favorite contact into something, like, I probably got to favorite contact through the Flame Wingman, so why do I not just make... Why would I make Neos Lord over this? You know? Like in most situations. There could be a reason, I personally never found one. If anybody has a good reason, please let me know. That way I can take a closer look at him. Final card in the extra deck, because there's a lot of Towers players at my locals, and I need a way to beat over them. Trinity. Trinity's good, you know, closes out games. If you have, like, nothing that you can really do, but you just randomly have 3 monsters, just kill. Next up, side deck. This is where things get a little spicy. We're on a second evenly. I was on the third, and then I made some changes. Some things ended up in the side deck, and I will show you what that is. For back row hate, straight up Lightning Storm and Feather Duster, and I am siding Acid. You know, through testing, I kind of figured out I liked having access to Acid, but generally, like, it didn't come up enough to be worth maining. I think, honestly, after tonight, you can probably take him out almost completely. He is really, really nice, though. Just being able to, like, trigger and chain block Ab-Zero is, like, really funny. I went to the locals. I brought Primate Fiendsmith to in the video, and like I said, there's like an Odeon player there. Tonight I played against Labyrinth. There were stun players, so it's like this actually like genuinely kind of came up. I just happened to never need to make it. Final board breakers. Raigeki, Herald of the Abyss, because we can't play any kaijus. Thanks, Konami. Okay. And then I have, like, you know, kind of going first cards. I'm on Symbol Archfiends. Never sided it in. Never came up. This could be cut. This is mostly here for stuff like Draco. Like, I guess part of it is, like, I didn't really play against anything that this would have been good against. Or, like, game-winning against, I should say. Dark Supremacy. Oh, hi, Cat. And like I said, Dark Angel in the side. Dark Angel went in basically every game. The only problem was I didn't want to main it and just like drop at people with Yummy in the format. Next up, like I said, no hand traps, but we are on Mistaken Arrest. I got 2 Mistaken Arrest tonight from OTS packs. I was running the rares, but hopefully I will get another super next time I go to locals. Mistaken Arrest, crazy card. Really sucks if your opponent plays through it. This is mostly for Yummy and Canine. But it's actually like really good and just like a bunch of random stuff. Because, you know, your opponent, you know, they put the Light Fiend on board, you just go, oops, Spellbound, have fun. You know, they have like Draco Tail fusions. They have like 1 card in hand, or 2 cards in hand. You know, one's a 5 mana, one's a monster, and then they have fusions on field. They go 5 mana. You go, ha, no. You know, Yummy Synchro, nope, not happening. Spellbound is unironically really good right now. Thank you, Cat, for knocking things over. Spellbound is just really good right now. And that is it for the deck profile itself. So now I'm going to get into the tournament report. Round 1 against my friend Garrett, who was on RB. We went to time and I just conceded because we had like 30 seconds left on the clock. I looked at my hand. I looked at his board. I genuinely had no clue how that game was going to go, so I just said, it was like, good game, man. In reality, like in my mind, I was just like, I don't want this to be a double loss for him. Round 2, Math Lab. I won the die roll, and he went to set 5, and I said, oh, okay. DPE, Vicious Claw, Shining Neos Wingman, pop literally all of your back row, have fun. And he was just like, oh, yeah. And then game, yeah, he just realized his particular list was not equipped to deal with like something like Hero. And also the fact that, all the board breakers I'm playing. And then round 3 was the most unfortunate round of the night. It was the only round where I felt, I don't know how to describe it. I just felt like I was robbed. So game 1, my hand was not the best, but it was playable. And I wasn't thinking clearly, obviously, because I just played into draw. I could have played around it. I could have gotten a poly. I could have gotten a plasma. I could have gotten at least something on board. But I did not play around Droll, and it cost me that game. Because he basically, I did something silly. I'm pretty sure I had like a Vion and a Stratos in hand, and I normaled the Stratos, and he drolled me, and I was just like, oh, okay. And then game 2 was the only time I bricked tonight at the tournament. I'm pretty sure my opening hand was like, it was like Liquid Soldier, Malicious, Plasma, Talents, Thrust. And, I'm sitting there, I'm looking at my hands, and I'm like, draw, standby, main, and I'm like praying he drops Fu or something, because last time he dropped Fu in the draw phase, and I was like, please Fu me so I can draw 2, dude. Literally anything to discard. Any extender gets me out of this mess because I can get into a Cross Crusader, like, please. And, I go draw, standby, main, and I go, and he doesn't do anything. I'm like, oh. And then he says, oh, I bricked. And I was like, oh? Is there a chance? So I just, like, randomly normal summoned the Liquid Soldier, hoping it would bait something. And it did not. So I set one of my spells. So I had Liquid Soldier spell, and he went, on his turn, he went Lightning Storm. Call back row, and I was like, I'm like, it's okay, it's fine. He's gonna blow up my board. He's gonna maybe do a little something, and if I draw a discard, we're off to the races, buddy. And then he proceeds to full Blue Eyes Primite combo me, and I'm just like, dude, you said you bricked, and he's like, I didn't draw any hand traps. I was like, that's not bricking, man. Oh, but that's whatever. And then round 4 was against Chimera. I won 2-0. Game 1, I went first. He could not play through Plasma. Game 2, I drew like 3. I think I drew like Lightning Storm, Dark Ruler, Thrust. Lightning Storm, Dark Ruler, Thrust. And then it was like insane. I think it was a Dusted Gold Vion. A Dusted Gold Vion. What was the last card? What was the card for turn? No, the card for turn was Lightning Storm. Oh, and the last card was Plasma. And, he's on Chimera. He actually ripped the Plasma out of hand. And I'm sitting there looking at my hand, and I'm like, okay. Cool. And I actually end up doing a line to play around Droll. Because what I do is I normal the Vion, and oh no, the last card in hand was not Talents. It was not, or no, what did I say? Dark Ruler, Lightning Storm, Thrust, opening hand, Plasma Vion. No, opening hand was Vicious Claws, Plasma Vion, Dark Ruler, a Dusted Gold, draw for turn, Lightning Storm, and he hits the Plasma, and I'm like, that's like the least amount of damage he could have done. I'm on 2 Plasma. And then, you know, I normal the Vion, and I go, how do I play around Droll? And I'm like, okay, well, I can do like a funky move where I dump Malicious, and then if I can keep comboing, I just go into Cross Crusader. But I'm gonna add my Poly. I learned my lesson from last round. I'm gonna add my Poly first before I keep going. So I dump the Malicious, and my Plasma's engraved because of Chimera. Obviously, I've already Dark Rulered and Lightning Stormed his board. Yeah, so I Dark Rulered first. He didn't have anything on field that would stop the Lightning Storm, but I was trying to bait his back row because most of his monsters were in attack position. And then he didn't use the back row, so I was just like, oh, maybe it's just a bluff. So then I Lightning Stormed his monsters. And obviously he Chimera revived. I think he revived a Gazelle, and he used the Baphomet fusion to revive the banished Chimera. But yeah, no, so he Guardian Chimera, but he drolled himself, so he couldn't activate his Guardian Chimera, and he thought he could, but, the judge was, watching us, and he was like... Because I picked it up, and I was like, dude, I'm pretty sure you can't activate this under Droll, and you cannot. And that is how that game went. So overall, I placed 8th. I don't recall how many people were there. I remember it being pretty full when the night started, but after round 1, people just started leaving, and I was like, oh, okay. I don't know what's going on. According to Neuron, the expected attendance was 40. I don't know what that means. I think... I want to say there was probably... I want to say when the night started off, there was probably between 25 and 30 people there. Because, there were 2 rows of tables filled. Yeah. That's how it went. This deck I brought purely for fun. There's obviously way better things you could do than playing Spellbound, Mistaken Arrest. Nothing but board breakers. Acid can definitely be cut for literally anything else in the side deck. As for extra deck, I have no clue. So the only cards confirmed for the new Maze set for Hero is the Voltic Thunder, Duskcrow, Furnace, and Atomic. I genuinely don't know if Atomic is worth playing. I think as long as the format stays the way it is, you still want to play 3 Mask Change. And then you also need to find room for contrast. I don't think it's worth... I think Voltic Thunder has its uses after Miracle Ejector comes out, because then you have 6 cards that you can use to just spit out a Blaze Man and poly into the Voltic Thunder without actually committing. And I think that's the best way to go about it if you want to play Voltic Thunder. But before then, I genuinely have no clue what I would cut for contrast, because like I said, I wanted to only play 1 extra, because originally this was 1 cross, 1 acid, and that was my 15, and then testing happened, and I realized how good having the second cross is, so now that's 2 cross. I will probably never stray from 2 cross again. That was a mistake. But yeah, I genuinely have no clue what I would cut. If Lunalight gets hit at some point, I think Trinity might come out, because you can basically achieve a similar effect with Wake Up. I think that might be the move. But as for now, I don't know. I think I think once Miracle Ejector comes out, you have enough extension that you don't super care, like if your Stratos gets stopped or something, so you can cut down on the mask changes and you can cut down on the mask change targets. But that is a little while away. That is a little while away because, like I said, we don't know when we're getting Miracle Ejector or Fountain. In terms of other things to consider, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's any. I don't know off the top of my head what changes I would like super want to make. My original plan for tonight was actually to play Primite Heroes. Shout out to this YouTube channel I really like called Duelist Cypher. He's on Primite Heroes right now. Which I don't know. I don't know why, but he's playing like Thunder Giant and searching Sparkman and Clayman. But I'm pretty sure, you know, he's already playing Evil Heroes. He could just play Backfire, which will like search an Omni that you can side if you don't want to main it, and then you just search Avian and Burstinatrix instead of playing Thunder Giant and searching Sparkman, Clayman, which is nice. That's like the only real recommendation I would have, is I want to try the Primite version. I think the Primite version could be very fun. I probably would not straight up play 3 normals. I don't think it's worth it. If I were to add Primite cards, it would probably be 3 load. I only own 2 Drill Beam, and I don't really want to buy a third, so it's probably 3 load, 2 Drill Beam, and like maybe 1 Ether Barrel. Just that way, if I have to grind, I can. Because the problem I have like with Hero is that like if you don't plan for the grind game, if you just go like balls to the wall and get stopped, you're not grinding. I'm sorry. It's not happening if you do not plan for it. You can make like a little board of like Wonder Driver, DPE Plasma, and you can maybe use your Wake Up. But beyond that, like, you know, like these, like you're going through these 2 for sure turn 1. And then these are your only 2 other, well, I guess technically this, but your favorite contact into this, so it doesn't count. These are like your only 2 Miracle Fusion targets. So you've got like, you know, a board what? So you potentially only have 1, maybe 2 turns of Miracle Fusion uses. Generally you're going through this turn 1. And then you go into this turn 3. And then I guess if you really need to, you could hold this for a long time. You go through basically all of your links turn 1 if, you know, somebody tries to imperm your Cross Crusader or something. And then, like, you know, potentially these, you're going through all of these between turns 1 and 2 because maybe you need to mask change Blast for something. And then during the end phase, you go, okay, Dark Law would be really good. So I'm going to summon Shadow Mist. Summon Shadow Mist. Get into Dark Law. Wow, I just realized I'm moving cards around that aren't even on camera. Sorry. But you, you know, you search the Dark Law, you've used your Blast, so then you're out of that. This deck just does not grind. You either win or you lose, and that is it. That is what this deck does. I decided to lean super heavy into trying to just outright kill people, and it kind of worked out. And, you know, I ended up going first a lot. Just, you know, the more I played, the more I realized I don't really play enough non-engine to justify blinding second completely in certain matchups, like against Labyrinth and stuff, when I can just, like, pop all of their back row after I go first. Most decks cannot play through Plasma right now. If your deck does not play away to out Dark Angel, you just lose. Hero, I think, is in a very weird spot right now. It loses to all of the popular hand traps in the format, but all of the floodgates it puts up, also, like, none of the decks in the format can handle super well. So, I think it's worth looking at, especially once it gets the new support next year, which, if you really want to get into Hero, I would probably pick it up now in case anything spikes, which I don't think it will. I'm pretty sure it's all been reprinted to death. And then just wait for the new support, because the new support kind of changes, like, literally everything. But yeah. So, I will catch you guys in the next one. I'm going to try and go to locals between now and January. But I don't know how well that's going to work out because my work schedule, it's looking like I basically just work straight through New Year's after Monday, Tuesday, after this video gets uploaded. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I will catch you guys later.